We are kicking things off right now with a massive legal battle shaking the music world. The rapper Ye is set to testify in a major copyright trial over whether he had the right to use music on his album Donda. Attorneys are clashing fiercely, with Irene Y. Lee of Russ August and Cabot representing the plaintiffs, artist revenue advocates, pointing to deposition testimony where Ye admitted to using original music in a widely streamed 2021 track. This is a deep dive into the legal fight over music rights and artist permissions.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the international tour schedule for Kanye West. U.S. rapper Ye is confirmed to perform in Tbilisi, Georgia, on June 12, 2026, as part of the government-funded Starring Georgia project. This is adding another stop to his European run, with further dates announced in Tirana, Albania. We explore how this tour unfolds amidst ongoing global scrutiny and the massive fan frenzy surrounding Ye's next performances. The controversy surrounding Ye's European shows is heating up, especially in Portugal. The Lisbon's Israeli Community, or CIL, has strongly called on authorities to deny any public support for his scheduled concert at the Estádio do Algarve. CIL President David Botelho argues that state resources should not be used to support an individual with a history of anti-Semitic views, questioning if this normalizes support for such figures. This brings us to the core of the debate: the economic impact versus the ethical concerns. While promoters estimate Kanye West's Algarve concert could generate up to €75 million for the national economy, the Israeli community is demanding that Portugal ensure absolutely no public resources are used. We examine the intense conflict between potential economic gain and the community's demand for accountability regarding Ye's past statements and the use of public infrastructure. Stay with us for more breaking news. Attorneys are locked in a legal battle over the use of music in Kanye West's trial concerning his album, Donda. The central issue revolves around whether West had the proper permissions to use disputed music on the Grammy-winning album, with plaintiffs alleging copyright infringement. Ye is set to testify on Wednesday regarding this matter. The trial commenced on Monday with opening statements and initial testimony. Irene Y. Lee, representing the plaintiffs' artist revenue advocates, referenced deposition testimony, where Ye reportedly admitted to using the original music during a widely streamed 2021 event. The conflict pits claims of theft against the defense's arguments citing existing royalties and artist approval. U.S. rapper Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, is scheduled to perform in Tbilisi on June 12, 2026, as part of the government-funded Starring Georgia project. The rapper has recently faced significant public scrutiny due to controversial remarks, particularly concerning antisemitism. Ticket prices for the Tbilisi show have not yet been released. West's recent major performances included shows in Los Angeles on April 1 and 3, 2026, where he promoted his new album, Bully, marking his return to the stage after an almost 5-year hiatus. Notably, during a concert, a segment of the audience departed after a Russian drummer was brought onto the stage. The focus on Ye has been dominated by a series of controversies. A major point of contention arose regarding his announcement as the headline act for the Wireless Festival in London in 2026. British authorities connected this decision to various actions taken by Ye in recent years. Efforts to mitigate the fallout included Ye publishing a letter in the Wall Street Journal in January 2026, titled, "To Those I Hurt," attempting to link his actions to bipolar disorder. Despite a public apology in Hebrew in 2023 for anti-Semitic remarks, Ye later distanced himself from that apology and made further provocative statements in 2025. Furthermore, his attempt to meet with representatives of Britain's Jewish community during the Wireless Festival was deemed insufficient by the UK government. The Georgian government is currently implementing a 2-year Starring Georgia campaign, which includes hosting concerts by international artists. Ye's touring schedule is extensive, with his next concert slated for May 23, 2026, in India, followed by planned stops in Turkey and other European nations. However, developments in the UK have sparked concerns about potential restrictions in other countries. Cancellations have already been made for concerts scheduled in Poland and Switzerland in June, raising questions about whether similar limitations could be imposed elsewhere. Kanye West is set to extend his European tour this summer, heading to Tbilisi, Georgia, as announced via social media. This development follows a period of setbacks he experienced in Europe due to past anti-Semitic controversies. The concert in Tbilisi is scheduled for June 12, 2026, fueling excitement among his fan base in Chicago. Adding to his international schedule, West will also perform in Tirana, Albania, on July 11, 2026. The announcement of the show in Tirana was made public by Albanian Prime Minister Edi Rama on social media. Despite the confirmation of these new dates, Kanye West continues to face scrutiny regarding his history of anti-Semitic remarks. Controversy has previously surrounded his planned concert in Portugal on August 7, which drew demands from the Jewish community in the country for local councils and the Portuguese government to cease support for the event. Euronews reported that formal requests were sent to the councils of Faro and Lulé, urging them to refrain from using state resources to facilitate the show. David Boatlow, president of the Israeli community in Lisbon, CIL, stated that officials were permitting a well-known anti-Semite to perform in Portugal and in a public facility accessible to everyone. As of the report, Faro and Lulé have not yet issued a response to these formal requests. Lisbon's Israeli community has urgently called on Portuguese authorities to deny any public support for a planned Kanye West concert in the Algarve. The event is scheduled for August 7 at the Estadio do Algarve in Parques des Cidades, between Lulé and Faro. The Israeli community of Lisbon, CIL, expressed shock that public resources could be utilized to back the concert. CIL President David Boatlow strongly criticized the prospect of financial, logistical, or institutional backing, arguing that such support would signal the state's normalization of backing for individuals holding anti-Semitic views. Boatlow stated, "The state is normalizing that public support is given, whether financial, logistical, or through the provision of space, to initiatives and individuals with anti-Semitic speech and attitudes." The group had previously sent letters to the municipalities of Faro and Lulé, which manage the stadium, as well as to the government, demanding the withdrawal of any support, but has yet to receive a response. Boatlow emphasized that while other nations like France and Poland have taken firmer stances, Portugal must at least ensure no public funds are deployed. He asserted that the evidence of anti-Semitism, hate speech, Holocaust denial, and public support for Nazism by the artist is clear, arguing that the country is hosting a figure with a sinister past deemed unacceptable elsewhere. What is expected from the state is that there is no support of any kind from the state, be it at a central, regional, or local level, Boatlow concluded, lamenting that the state is mobilizing resources for an event featuring a known anti-Semite at public infrastructure. The controversy follows the artist's history of controversial statements, including past remarks praising Hitler and releasing material featuring a swastika. Although the artist has recently expressed regret over some comments, attributing them to his bipolar disorder. Despite the intense criticism, organizers highlight the potential economic impact. Promoter Guest estimates the concert could inject between €65 million and €75 million into the national economy. The event is projected to attract around 52,000 spectators, including over 31,000 international visitors, leading to approximately 94,000 overnight stays in the Algarve. The economic benefits include an estimated €12.9 million in direct hotel revenue and over €6 million in state tax income, alongside up to €25 million in international media exposure. The debate is now focused on whether these potential economic gains justify concerns regarding the artist's past conduct, and the allocation of public resources.